This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning and welcome to Guardian Radio A.M. Today is Wednesday, May 14th, and it's a little after 11 o'clock in the morning. Once again, this is CA Newry. This is Wednesday, so it's a man down mashup Wednesday when we combine both shows and we analyze the news. Today, we will be talking politics. I mean, we can have entertain one or two things on the other show because we have some text that came in late that we want to read into the record, and one or two things we didn't quite hash out. But today is we talking politics. I want people to call in to be involved and speak on, are there signs? Are there signs that there's going to be an early election? The other day, Michael Pintas suggested, yeah, man, we're going to have an early election, and the government mash his behind up. Say, no, you have no authority to even suggest that it's going to be an early election. And the truth, he doesn't have the authority. Our prime minister can call an election whenever he feels like, so allow him to do that. That's what our constitution calls for. However, I want to know, are there signs? Are there signs? Have things started rolling? Should I go out and register to vote? Should I take up whatever things I need to do? Because, I still ain't renew my passport yet. I ain't going no place. Whenever I plan to go.
Renew your passport.
To do what? Just to have it?
To test the system.
To test it? Whenever I feel. I mean, I have all the documents there now. I just need to pay the money.
This is your first electronic passport or your second?
No, this is my fourth.
So why you have to submit?
Because when I submitted the last time, they asked for all my daddy documents. And I said, but all the daddy documents is there. So I had to find someone who was alive for when my daddy was alive. My daddy born in 1936. And I just found that preposterous. So I had to go and...
Because this would be your fourth...
Yeah, my fourth electronic one. I had one from 1994.
Yeah, but they try and tell you that you were the problem.
I just had a problem. So I had to do... What I did was I relocate my father's passport. Mm-hmm. I have that on file now and all other old documents. So when I turn that in, I just didn't make the effort yet.
Since you mentioned that, during the break, I went online and I found the Kingsley Smith calculator.
Yeah.
And our numbers were off.
So it's not 5 years?
Yeah. 2024 to 2029 is not five. Like the 5-year period would end on the last day of his birth month in 2030.
Should they rob him a year?
I mean...
It
depends on what type of calculator you're using.
It's a donation. He should be happy to give back to the bank.
No, he should call the Eugene DePuch Law School Legal Aid Clinic and ask for legal advice on how to proceed with the matter.
You better just have that as a donation.
No, can't do that.
Yeah.
Because it's a problem, because the government can't accept it. Mm-hmm. So that's what the problem is. I can try and make all the donations I want to make, but the systems, see, it's like the thing I tell you when I was in court the other day. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go see the magistrate. Mm-hmm. I was willing, not just to pay the $100 on the ticket, but I was willing to pay $200 to tell the magistrate what happened to me. Mm-hmm. I didn't even get a chance to tell the magistrate because there was no case in the system. So what would have happened if I went to pay the ticket? How would I have been able to pay the ticket? Mm. Would they have found a duplicate in the system? They could not take my money because there's nothing to reconcile.
Yeah, I guess the police said, man, he ain't going to trade no more. They said this Aaron Green is a problem.
That's not...
But let me just finish thing.
Giving people a ticket for no reason is a problem.
I got some text from the last show which says all officers, no matter what the charge, as long as they are facing court, the above is the case. That is, officers facing open court matters are placed on leave. So I just want to make sure everyone knows that if you're a police officer and you have charges pressed against you, you're placed on automatic leave.
And if they don't place you on leave, go to the Police Staff Association and say, I'm supposed to be on leave. Yes. See, like that's the point. Mm-hmm. How could you be on duty if the system mandates that nobody in the same circumstances you could be on duty. It's just not supposed to happen.
And there's a question about military funerals. Say the serving officer family decides if the funeral will be full military or not. Many officers express if this is something they want or do not want it in general.
All right, so
I just want to put that in the record. So
do
people know.
family members, like does the officer's estate or family members have to contribute to the cost? Because I can't imagine family have to contribute? I think because what would cause a family to say, no, we don't want a full military service for our family member that dedicated their life, and especially if they were killed in the line of duty, right? What would cause a family to say, no, we don't want that? If it is that they have to pay part of the cost for it.
I think it's half and half. The organization offers, and then the family decides whether they can take that half. And
who's the organization? Is it the government, the organization, or the Police Staff Association?
no, police staff stations is like a union. They ain't have nothing to do with this.
So who's the organization that would make...
The police. Whatever funeral type thing they have. Yeah.
See, a full military funeral can't be left to that type of discretion either.
It's like human resources. They have a human resources
Either
part.
they warrant a full military service or they don't. The question of whether they could pay for half of it should never arise.
A police force has insurance. So
So the insurance policy that the police have, who does it go to? Does it go to the family or does it go to the police?
the police dead.
Does it go to the family or does it go to the police force?
They go to the family to pay for whatever they want to.
And so they're trying to tell them, well, you done get some insurance money. Is that built? Why is that not built into the policy? Why don't we have built into the policy that the cost of a military funeral will be provided upon death?
You know what? We can invite somebody to come on and explain the death benefits of a police officer and military funeral.
No, okay, see, death benefits of a police officer separate from a military funeral. Yeah, those should be two separate issues.
Two separate issues.
Okay.
We have a caller here. Let's engage the call so we go on to our conversation on whether there's signs of an early election. And what time do you think the election will be? You think it's called this year or it should be called early next year?
I think it'd be 8:30 p.m. a.m., sorry.
Look where you're going. Go ahead, caller. Guiding Radio A.M.
Good morning again, Mr. Newry. To answer your question, I asked that same question from former Minister Shivago Lang the other day. And I asked the question after hearing the incoming Prime Minister, the leader of the Free National Movement, saying that on Dwight's show. It sounded like the Minister Lang reminded me that the Prime Minister, like you said, makes that decision himself. Only him know when he have the power to do this. But he finished explaining to me the only way they could have election right now, they would have to do something what never been done before, what we ain't used to, or something little. I don't want to say against the law, because there's a lot of stuff still need to be done before September. Now, if they could squeeze it in, but I think he could register, right? Dr. Minister used to register from 2017. Shivago Lang say when that 5 years done go, you can't use that no more. So we need a new register. They talk about the Boundaries Commission, adding more seats or not, or just a rumor. There's some things they will have to do before they call a general election. I believe it'll be foolish to do it now. You say when to call it?
You're a scholar, and I
You say when
appreciate
to call
you.
it?
No,
Call it when it's supposed to call.
You're a scholar, and I appreciate you because the points you made, the Boundaries Commission, because they're supposed to be adding new seats. You heard the rumors.
Supposed to.
So they say.
They can't afford to maintain the seats they have.
Can't do nothing unless they can open it up, even if they... I don't even think they could be forced to use the old registry. Say, well, people ain't interested.
Well,
The process got...
we have people born and...
I'd rather hang up and listen, man, because I could hardly hear on this phone.
Okay. We have people born and become the age of maturity over the last 3-4 years. All of these people need to be recorded.
Okay,
to
but
take opportunity.
but that doesn't mean that we need a new register. I think what happens is that if you have changed address, if you relocated to the Bahamas, for new voters, right, that they need to register. So if you're a new first-time voter, if you've changed address, you need to go in and register your new address because you'll be in a different constituency.
So being reminded that we have a permanent registry now?
Yeah, that's the point. No,
Oh,
not you.
Me.
Unless, of course, you have moved.
I move. It's still the same spot.
Well, there you go, right? So new voters, first-time voters, and people who have changed address, location, constituency.
And people who have never, if you said first-time voters, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
So those people would need to register. People like me, I just need to have my voter's card, the old voter's card.
Right, but there are a whole bunch of other questions, right, that come up about the register. I had a whole series of articles and questions laid out, but I have so many articles today, I couldn't bring all of them onto the same piece of paper. So let me read the articles, reference for today's conversation, and then let me read the list of questions,
Yes,
right?
go ahead.
Okay, so it started just the same place that you started, Mr. Newry. Pintard predicts early general election as he calls for fixed date. That's Nassau Tribune, 7th of May, 2025. Ingram urges unity, 13th of May, 2025. Dr. Minnis suggests he will seek re-election. Nassau Guardian, 7th of May. Minnis reignites speculation over re-election bid. Nassau Tribune, 7th of May. So that's a Guardian and a Tribune article. In the Tribune article, though, it says the FNM's Killarney Constituency Association chairwoman association has said most executives back Dr. Minnis and would continue to support him. Minnis consulting on future after being denied nomination. That's the 13th of April. Tells supporters he will not seek re-election. That was yesterday, 13th of May. We don't want Vaughn Miller to run again. That's Tribune, 9th of April. Vaughn Miller running again. That's a video article, 22nd of April. FNM to ratify first 20 candidates by May 1st. Tribune article, 4th of April. And FNM candidates to be named soon, Pintard said. That's 8th of May, 7 days after that May 1st deadline. Now, here are the questions. Call, I see you. Give me a second. Let me lay out the questions. Will we have another snap election? Why would Davis call an early election? Are we seeing signs that the PM is prepared to announce an election date? Not necessarily an early election, but to announce the election date. Will this admin, another Davis admin or a Pintard admin, actually implement a fixed general election date? Is a year and a half out a reasonable timeline to begin campaigning? Does a short campaigning period benefit the electorate, the government, or the opposition? Has the David administration implemented any electoral reform measures? Access by the ordinary man impact campaigning and politics? Will Pintard be the next party leader going into the next election? Who's going to make the cut and who will not seek renomination? Who is seeking renomination but will not get the support of their respective party? When is too soon and or too late to ratify and announce candidates? Will we see any new parties formed after major party ratifications? Who are the people vying for nominations and what are the most highly contested constituencies? And what is a role in administration?
ROLE?
Yeah, ROLE.
Oh.
I mean, I know plenty role in administration. But Pintard said, did he have a role in administration for Minnis and for many young people?
There's a place for him.
Right? And I just want to know, like, is that like, is Fitzgerald
Has a place.
job
He has a role.
or Wilson's job
Has a
better
role.
than being an MP or a cabinet minister?
Just as good.
I don't know. Okay, so those are the questions I laid out from those articles.
Yes. Let's go to the caller so we can start. That's this conversation. This might have to be a 2-3 day conversation. Go ahead, caller. Guardian Radio A.M. Call girl once.
You want to move on?
Go
Good
ahead.
morning, sir.
Yeah, no case in the system. I had a similar situation where I was presented with a ticket that was like 15 years old. And it's a good thing I keep my receipts because I was able to produce my receipts. So apparently, what may have been happening, and I would like to say may have been happening, you just be supplying lunch money for a small group of people who sitting right there taking your money and there's no case in the system.
That's a shame. I ain't never take a man out to restaurant to feed him. I always cook food at home for him.
Appreciate that very much. But keep your receipts whenever you get one, even though you may have paid the fine, because this inherited system that we have, it really is not designed for progress. Because you could clearly see if the Prime Minister was concerned about well-being and planning of individuals, you would like to be able to plan your life and your organization around a date that is an election date. You would like to know that you would like to give your staff the whole day off so they could be free to do what they want to do. But what they want to do is call it at the snap so that you can't plan. And when you think about it, think about a leader who does not want you to grow. And that's exactly what we've been dealing with. And, choosing the lesser of two evils, in my opinion, Christians shouldn't be doing that.
Don't
But we all are
participate in
Christians,
elections
right?
at all.
Huh?
I don't believe Christians supposed to participate in elections at all.
I on your side, boy. I think what we should. I better not say that. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
man.
Thank you for calling.
Let us deal with it, and then you all get governed by us. That's how I look at it. But go ahead. Finish it, Aaron.
So I want to ask you these questions, and the texters to see what the text line is saying. The PM would be a fool to call election now. If PLP's out there mad at the man who holds the office now, they will sweep them out if elections were called. Okay, so why would the PM call an early election? That's the thing. Like, the thing we would have to ask is, what are the circumstances in which a Davis administration, or specifically PM Davis, outside of the administration, would benefit from calling an early election right now?
To answer that, I would say, why did the former Prime Minister Hubert Minnis call an early election? People still don't understand that yet. He said something big is going to come. We waited to see what is big thing. Nothing big came that we know of.
You saw.
That's it that we know of.
That you saw.
You might have seen it. I'm not.
I think I see it. But as a woman, I got
can't be
lion eyes.
thinking, you gotta be
As a
knowing.
woman, I have lion eyes.
You got to say, you see it.
I know I see it, but apparently I have lion eyes.
Was it big enough that it warrant a early election?
I thought possibly it.
That's
it
why he
was.
lost. That's why he lost. And the idea is, you ask, why would you call an early election? To have the opposition off balance. But does the PLP need the opposition to be off balance to win?
Or are they sufficiently off balance? Okay, so I get your question. Do they need that? Right? Is their administration strong enough to go up against the best FNM has to offer?
And I believe that is the PLP's campaign. Our record speaks for itself.
I mean, pause. Their record does speak for itself.
Yeah, I mean, they judge it.
But I don't know if that's a positive or a
Yeah,
negative.
and good or bad, because when you have a report card, you will have a couple A's, you have a couple B's, a couple C's.
Unless, of
But
course,
our
you
record,
allow the student to grade themselves.
Yeah, but then they'll say their record. And I keep on saying our record. The PLP itself, is their record good enough to stand the test of saying, this is a good grade. This is good enough to win. And that's what I think is going to be happening. Is that what the PLP is putting forward? Right?
I mean, I think that's what they're putting forward. I think it's
Is a year plan time long enough to have this boundary commission meet and extend, if that's something that's going to be coming to fruition?
Now, mind you, it is now the middle of May 2025. Election has to be called by what, 6 months? Is it 6 months after the last, 5 years and 6 months after the last election? That's the final date. So,
Right.
so we talk in September 2026 plus 6 months.
Yeah.
They have within that space. So let's call it 2 years.
Okay.
2 years from now until the last day for an election. A year. Is a year sufficient time for the Boundaries Committee to do its work?
I
That's the
think so.
question.
I think so.
And then that gives a year for campaigning. But my question is,
But we've been campaigning for about 4 years now.
I mean,
It's
no,
a
they-
non-stop campaign.
They've been campaigning for the whole administration.
Yeah. So I've seen people saying they need more time to campaign. The PLP has been campaigning.
I mean, every situation that was raised, that arose, they responded like a campaign as opposed to like statesmen, like governors.
Okay.
They responded like politicians.
Has there been any extra campaigning? When you see them on the trail, going door to door,
Yeah,
taking pictures.
okay,
and
absolutely.
What the place with the shovel? Doing, what do you call it?
Groundbreaking?
Groundbreaking ceremonies. Is that happening?
I want to make a distinction between the literal putting the shovel in the ground and the language, right? The figurative groundbreaking with the announcement of the project, right? Like I think it's fascinating to watch. I think that they're so savvy because they're going to tell you that the announcement of the project is the groundbreaking. When we when we see the shovel in the ground, we know that's the groundbreaking. We also know now that groundbreaking don't mean anything.
No. Yeah, the fact you have two and three and four different groundbreaking ceremonies
For the same project.
For the same project.
Right? That doesn't mean anything, but I think they've taken it a step further. We're not even getting the shovel in the ground anymore. They're trying to convince us that announcing that we considering doing something is a groundbreaking.
Yes, and having a ceremony too.
So
And my question to you, before we go to the text, comparing the PLP and the FNM, not concerning the COI at all, can the FNM go into campaign mode with their expenses and their war chest, money trunk, and last as long as the PLP?
Yes.
They have enough money.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because we know the PLP has money.
The efficacy of the financial resource is dependent on the strategy employed. With the correct strategy, the resources that they have, even if they are significantly smaller than the PLP, even if they are significantly smaller than the Davis administration, which is different from the PLP, right? With the right strategy, not only do they have enough financial resource, but the more time that they have, the more effective their campaigning will be, right? So starting early, one hand may look like a disadvantage because of an imbalance of financial resources, but the starting early, the time that you gain may outweigh the cash that they have.
So we know that the administration has two different cash assets or access to cash. There's a government purse, which the government has. It just happens that the PLP is the government
Right, the Davis administration has.
Yes, they have a budget that they could use as their campaign because they fulfill.
No.
Let me explain. If part of the campaign was to build an airport, the government purse can build an airport. That's not a campaign strategy, but they have the money to build the airport. That's government money.
That's a governance strategy.
That's my point. But it can be used as part of the campaign.
It could be spun as if this is a campaign success.
Yes. And then there is the PLP's war chest in terms of money. Their party itself has money from whatever sponsors.
You know how much money Minky Isaac saved the PLP by wearing short pants?
How much?
Buku dollars.
Yeah.
Cloth expensive, you know.
I'm sure PLP, the government or PLP's buy cloth.
They don't buy it for him.
No.
Money saved right there.
Okay, but he's get shirt. I know they produce shirt.
He needs shirt.
Yeah,
They barely have on shorts.
That ain't saving no money if he still got to get a shirt.
He don't pay for the shirts.
That's what I'm saying. Someone got to pay for the shirts.
Yeah.
Let's go to the caller. Producer Pastor, call the truth, please. Go ahead, Guardian Radio A.M.
Newry,
Go ahead.
governance, first thing, governance is continuous. And you put the shovel in the ground, and then we would open it up. Governance is continuous here. And
Stop listening to your radio. I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
huh?
Don't listen to your
Turn
radio.
your
Just
radio
talk.
down.
Just talk.
Yeah, I tried to turn it down. You can't hear it.
And speaking to the point about the airport, right? Like how they could spin a success in governance as a specific political achievement. And the point you make in caller is that if government is continuous, then you can't make that claim.
That's the big key word, the if. It should be, you see, but they still is doing, if they could go and do foolishness when a new set come in, right? But it's supposed to be continuous. Let me tell you something. You said the PLP get money and the FNM get money. Wait, I mean, you know better, right? You know you could have all the money in the world, and if the people them have something for you, can get that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Money plays a role, but that ain't the bottom line, especially not this time around.
But here's the question. I think the question is whose money is strongest?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, what if it's not the PLP or the FNM that whose money is actually speaking to the people?
I mean, there's lobby groups, private lobbies groups,
Parties. Or all three parties.
but they always decide to lobby to one stronger.
That's what you think. You forget World War II. Okay, here's the text line. Oh, full cost. Oh, full. I think full is an honor. Having a police complement is a cost. Okay, the text, so, because I was making the distinction between being designated a full military honor and who's supposed to pay for it, right? And so I think the text is saying that to the full military service is the honor, but having the police complement is a cost. These are very important questions, things that need to be clarified. We're not supposed to be paying for police services. We're not supposed to be paying for summonses to be delivered. We're not supposed to be paying for these things. The Police Staff Association is not supposed to be operating like a union either. They're not supposed to be operating like an employment agency either. Police officers are not supposed to be working off duty either. None of these things are supposed to be happening.
So let's talk about Minnis and him running as an independent.
Right. You got a couple more texts, but yes.
Is Minnis running as an independent, or is he still running as an F&M candidate? I don't know what Mr. Minnis is running as anymore. Has the F&M indicated that someone is going to replace him, or they have somebody to go replace him? Is that wise for the F&M to have a candidate challenging Minnis?
Okay, so it's a given from, they say they're not renominating him. They have somebody to replace him. Right? I think that's a given. I think we could even speculate, not only are they prepared to replace him, but I think that they have some replace him. Right? My question is Minnis going to run as an independent, or is he going to, after the parties have ratified their candidates, swoop in, collect the best of the rest, and form his own party?
That'd be too late in the ground game.
Why?
Because we would need to know who the candidates are. You don't start a new party.
The PLP say they don't need to do that, and F&M say they don't need to do that. They say they don't need to tell us who the candidates are in a
because they
reasonable
establish
amount
party.
of time. Because
Bahamians tend to vote for parties. We know that there is about 20 to 30% who vote in PLP no matter what.
Minnis thinks his brand is strong enough.
What is his brand? What party brand does he have?
What you mean with party? He's
individual brand and then party brand.
Hold on. Exactly. He ain't worried about party brand. He's a former prime minister. I'm thinking this is what his thinking is. I don't know if you want to go to the phone line.
Yeah, let's go to the phone line.
I'm thinking his thinking. See, and subsequent to that, caller, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I come in right now. Subsequent to that, this might have been the competent authority. I don't think he needs a party brand. In his thinking, he needs a party brand.
Him
right?
being the competent authority is the reason why he got voted out. That's a brand by itself.
No, that ain't the reason why he got voted out.
You don't think so? I still vexed. Anyway, let's go to the caller, man. Go ahead, caller, because I getting flashbacks.
It's what happened while he was the competent authority. Good morning, caller.
Hey, Miss Green, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. And Newry,
Hey.
listen to me. In Kalani, if the DNA put in a candidate,
DNA?
the COI puts in a candidate, the F&M puts in a candidate, the PLP puts in a candidate, and Mr. Minnis runs as an independent, Mr. Minnis will get beat.
But by how much? See, the question is...
A beat is a beat.
No.
If I beat you by 1, I beat you. If I beat you by 100, I still beat you.
He can get his deposit back?
Yeah, he could get his deposit back.
Because I imagine...
Mr. Minnis would be juggling on the people he registered to vote. You might get 6 of them to come out.
11 people in Lightfoot Key could vote? 11 people in Lightfoot Key could vote?
No, I said if you have 10 people, I just use 10 as a number.
I know.
Use 10 people registered to vote.
Only 6 to show up.
6 people come out. They would sponsor a political, they would sponsor a party. But very seldom you'll see them on the line say to vote. Now, why I say this? Now, Mr. Minnis could get saved. But he'll have to cut a deal with the PLP, like what Tennyson Wells did.
Or the Puch.
Or the Puch, and don't run a candidate. Once the PLP runs a candidate, the PLP, I would go on the limb to say I think the PLP will win Kalani. Okay. Because the opposition, the opposition votes now have to share between 4 candidates. The PLP voting PLP, matter what. Them people in Mount Pleasant Village, them people in Gambia, them people in Teleport, they voting PLP. Now they gonna have to fight over them people in Old Fort Bay and Lysekey and under.
What about Albany? What constituency Albany in?
Albany should be in Kalani, eh? The all western side.
They vote or they
coming out to vote, man.
They vote or they write letters.
They write letters.
What type of letter? They said they sent a letter from Miami.
No. They can send a letter from Albany. Listen, take this offer. You don't get this money.
Thanks very much, caller. Thanks very much, caller. I appreciate it. Thanks again. Go ahead, Aaron.
Let's go back to the text line quickly. I'm sorry about that. Good morning. Just to be sure, is voter registration currently ongoing? So where are they located now? Thank you kindly.
Go ahead.
You know where they're located?
Where they always located, eh?
I don't think so. I used to think that, but I think the Parliamentary Registrar Department, is it now on Tony Darling Highway? On Harold Road?
This is where Dwight texts us now, and because he has all the information. I don't know if he listening.
Because on Farrington Road, on the curve, the big
Farrington
building.
Road. That's why I thought they would have
right, but
always there.
I think that
They moved?
I think that they moved. I hope that they didn't. I hope that they weren't a part of the move to the Hyacinth Stewart, the building that just partially burned down, damaged by fire on East West Highway. I'm hoping that that's not where they were moving.
I don't know.
But I'm not. I think they're in transition from the Farrington Road office to a new location.
Okay.
All right, here's another text. Davis and the PLP would have to go through 2 more hurricane seasons if they wait till election is due in October 2026. If breeze blow too hard around here, bush crack, the government gone.
Okay. Go ahead. Continue reading. I hear the caller.
No, here's a question. 1 major hurricane. Something in between the strength and the impact of 2016 Hurricane Matthew and 2019 Dorian.
Yeah.
Could the PLP survive that recovery period into another election?
See, we don't know what would happen.
Oh no, I know what would happen.
Okay, let me show you why I said that, right?
Yeah.
Let's say a hurricane come. Hurricane
Let's say
5,
it hit
6,
New
7. And
New Providence.
Let's say Qatar. See, I said if you're doing what ifs. Would say Qatar come and give the Bahamas $1 trillion to help it. See, that's what ifs.
No, that's not a what if, because the US wouldn't let it happen.
See, my point is, until those things happen, we can't have that inside the equation.
Okay, Dorian already happened, so it already happened.
Yeah,
I'm glad you
we can
said
talk
that.
about Dorian.
No, so this is the point. Would the Davis administration, right?
I don't know. We got to wait till it happens.
You don't know. I know. We could go to the phone line. If we go to the phone line, I know. We could go to the phone line.
I don't know. They might raise to the occasion. Go above and beyond. We just don't know.
Have they? Have they risen to the occasion for this whole Davis administration?
They never had no hurricane to face.
Davis went abroad. He went to Guam or Fiji somewhere for COP. This boy serenaded the audience. Hold on. He serenaded the audience
There was a reason for that.
The spirit of Joseph
There
Spence,
was a reason
Ronnie
for
Butler,
that.
and Pat Roll, good morning, Pat Roll, was in his heart.
There was
when he
a reason for
When
that.
he came to New Providence to perform for us, when he came to perform for us, the Bahamian people, he couldn't hum to save his life. This boy sing like Pat Roll was his daddy.
I think he
at
went
the
there,
COP
head of
meeting.
Chogam or head of that
It's
Caribbean.
the Chogam meeting day.
Whatever that head of the Caribbean thing.
Somewhere beautiful,
or that,
right?
Or that thing, Commonwealth.
The boy was singing like he was in the Perry Como tourism promotional video. He come to Nassau.
Now the Fiji people won't come to the Bahamas now. Let's go to the caller. They all want to hear our prime minister thing. Go ahead, caller. Guardian Radio A.M.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Newry. Good morning, Miss Green.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, Miss Green, I forgot to drop you some samples of some of the tamarins that they are diseased. It looked like it's caused by the ladybugs. I don't know if it's something that the Horticulture Society could be paying attention to. I'm 60. I've never seen anything like that. It's like it's some scales on them. It's just like for you to do some observation and maybe share it with somebody.
Yeah. All right.
They're under attack, one of our favorite foods. But I wanted to just share some information as relates to the funeral of a police officer, right?
Okay.
Now, I don't know if it's a current police officer, but my father was retired, the commissioner post-death, right? And I know the Police Staff Association, thank God for them, they handle the cost of that along with the national insurance. You would get a check from the public service union or whatever, and that would be a good amount, but they covered the cost. But she had said that, the commissioner said that they wish they had something like that implemented to cover the cost of it, but I don't know what is the guidelines for an existing officer, and maybe something that you mentioned, an officer that is killed in the line of duty. It might be a different procedure. Maybe someone could call and enlighten you on that, but I know we didn't pay anything, and it was a military funeral, and I just wanted to disclose that. And so another quick thing is, another psychological thing. People are calling and talking about chronic callers. They are chronic listeners, right? but they have a problem with I don't know what the sense is, chronic caller, but you're a chronic listener, and you try to discredit what people are saying. I made a comment on the effects of immigration, the contributions of immigration to society. There are pros and cons. But the person said he was of a Haitian Bahamian background. But Aaron, if I made a contribution as to what you are contributing to as a demographic, that's not a contribution. If you're creating a parallel society, if you're creating a burden on social services, if you're creating a burden on the hospitalization and the various and the likes, and even the degradation of the environment, that's not a contribution. But I didn't say that it was all negative. But I can see the contributions that you're making. But I don't think a Haitian Bahamian or anyone should have a right to tell me what to say on the airwaves, Aaron. You understand me? Feel me out. I have a right to express myself on what I see. I have a Haitian American girlfriend, so I don't need anyone to come on the radio telling me what to say from what they don't say when I can observe your contributions as to what is going on in my country where I live. So maybe they should contribute to where they come from since they love it so much and stop downgrading Bahamian people who are speaking out for what they see. I have nothing against anybody. It's what I have observed.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you, 52.
Okay.
Another text, and then we get back to the list of questions. I want to ask you these questions so bad.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Sylvanus Petty, headline today, said that in the upcoming years, he plans to run for prime minister.
No, not him. Hold on. Wait, him?
Yeah, man, that's a headline now. It's a headline now.
Okay,
I mean,
because
I
on the
don't
13th of May, which was yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Tells supporters he will not seek re-election. Nassau Tribune. In that article, they write, Michael MP Basil McIntosh
Yes.
and North Eleuthera MP Sylvanus Petty
Yes.
are the only PLPs to publicly confirm that they will not seek re-election.
Yes.
And tell me what the gentleman said.
Let me see if I can read the headline. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on 2 seconds. Bring up my phone again.
All right, so I can read from that article. Tells supporters.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, we got you.
Interesting twist. Progressive Liberal Party PLP Member of Parliament for North Eleuthera, Sylvanus Petty, made a bold statement to reporters outside Parliament on Wednesday morning as he declared his intentions to become the Prime Minister of the Bahamas in the near future. His announcement came on the heels of a recent revelation that he does not intend to contest the North Eleuthera seat in the upcoming general election.
Okay, so pause. Is there a twist? Does he plan on representing a different constituency?
I don't know what he's talking about, man.
Okay, because it says to confirm they will not seek re-election, right? It's the end of the sentence in the Tribune article yesterday.
He said he plans to return. Yeah, he said he plans to return.
This boy get injured in one fight in the House of Assembly. Forget that he injured himself. And now he's a hero.
I don't know all these people, man. Go ahead, Aaron.
Okay, so let's get...
Let's talk with Sayers. You think Sayers resigning is a big thing to happen for the Charlotte area? Is this something that the PLP need to be concerned with? Is this something a reference to the PLP in terms of management? Is it a critique?
Why would you say something so exciting right at the break?
I know, I'm just saying.
On the other side of the break?
Yeah, I wonder if it has any significance.
Because remember last week when we were talking about Patricia DeVoe and you said she said that she's unsure about running again. Mm-hmm. And I highlighted some of the reasons why she may be unsure about running again. Yeah, we can get into that on the other side of the break.
Yes. I just want to read this before we go on break. To the Guardian Media Group and Going Places Travel wants to take you on a 7-day cruise for four to Panama, Colombia, and Curacao, and Aruba on the Royal Caribbean Serenade of the Seas. And here's the best part. No visa is required. That's right, no visa is required. You have 4 ways to enter, 4 ways to win. 1. Fill out the form in the Nassau Guardian. 2. Listen to the Star 106.5 and the Guardian Radio 96.9. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, or make a purchase at Going Places Travel. Entry deadline is June 27th, 2025. Drawing is on July 4th, 2025. So pack your bags, get ready to soak up the sun and feel that ocean breeze. You have 3 loved ones sailing the high seas on vacation. Cruise of a lifetime, brought to you by the Guardian Media Group and Going Places Travel. Of course, certain conditions apply: airfare, taxes, and gratuity.
just showed me Bella boy in his phone.
What you mean? He take picture of that good-for-nothing boy?
Shh, you don't want Bella here. You say that. You know she always say that's my good child.
So what he doing in Junior phone?
Oh, he there because the police looking for him. He on their wanted list.
Wanted persons in your phone now?
Yes, child. And when police want to find anybody quick, after something happen, they can send picture direct to your phone. Go to Google Play or App Store and search for Crack Crime Bahamas, then pick install and it will go straight to your phone.
There is also a section on missing persons?
Yes, girl. Everybody needs to get this app so police can tell us right away when these people go missing. Just like an alert system.
Yes, it has numbers for Crime Stoppers Bahamas so you can call and nobody knows it's you. Call directly to Miami and give the information without giving your name or anything about you. I tried the other day and when I hear Junior and his boys talking about where they hide those guns, I walk quick round the corner and call that number.
Call 328-8477 from Nassau or 242-300-8477 from the Family Islands.
Have you already tried our President Butter? Ooh la la. Indulge a little with President because now more than ever, we need to save seconds to truly enjoy the little things that mean the most. President Butter, something to savor. Wake up, Bahamas! Join the Zonta Club of Nassau's second annual We Are Family Fun Run, Walk, and Push on Saturday, May 17th from 6 a.m. at the Montague Foreshore. Push a stroller, walk with grandma, or sprint. Just move with us. The first 100 finishers will receive a medal. Stick around for health screenings and wellness sessions. Every dollar supports PACE and the Bahamas AIDS Foundation, along with our youth programs. Registration for groups of 10 is $25 each. Single adults, $30. Kids under 13, 10. Plus, everyone that registers gets a goodie bag and t-shirt. Call us today at 807-3021 or email zontaclubofnassau@hotmail.com. See you at the Montague Foreshore on May 17th at 6 a.m.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Love the show? Want to give your support? Become a sponsor today. Call 302-2300 for our rates and packages. That's 302-2300. Become a sponsor on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Measles is on the rise around the world and the Bahamas is at risk,
which makes us very vulnerable as a nation for the possible outbreak of measles cases.
Every the Ministry of Health and Wellness will host MMR immunization visits in South Beach, Coconut Grove, Fox Hill, and Elizabeth Estates. Clinics in these areas will remain open until 8 p.m. twice per week. Get your child immunized now.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
Sitting on my porch, drinking my switcher when I pull this great big fancy car. Plaster full of sticker from the bumper to the hood. The driver was a former movie star. Next thing I know, I was watching a show. The circus nearly knocked me off my chair. My little boy say, Pa, I never see that kind of car. How come them rich white people stop in here? I say, boy, they coming out the woodwork just like worm.
They coming out the woodworks like worm. They campaigning hard. But I want to talk about war room, political war rooms, technology, the new technologies coming in politics, fake news, right? And then those political assassins. What does that mean for our general elections? There are people who are hired just to mash up people, find dirt and create fake news. There are people who are using technology that has the prime minister, have the governor of the central bank as if he's talking, have the deputy prime minister sending text messages, and no, all is fake.
So
all is fake. But it looks so real. You see them moving. So you hear their voice.
Two things. When people started saying that Jerome Fitzgerald was a part of a formalized part of the Davis administration, I thought that was fake news. You couldn't tell me that was real. You couldn't tell me that was real. I just, in fact, right now, I'm still trying to refuse to believe it because that don't make any sense to me. Right? The point is this, though. What could work is whenever the prime minister makes a statement, he need to hum right after it, right before it and right after it, and that way we know it's him. It's him. AI can't hum like that.
No.
You can't duplicate that.
No.
Yeah.
But should political parties be concerned? Should Bahamians be on guard, looking out for fake news?
First of all, absolutely. Absolutely. But here's the biggest reason why. Because we don't have strong enough government systems so that when I see something on the social medias, that I can go directly to the website of the ministry or the agency reference to verify the news. So we got two problems. One is some of these agencies, their primary platform for interaction is a Facebook or Instagram page or TikTok page. That's madness. For this election, it can become a problem now in election season. It's not a problem for politicians yet, but it's a problem for governance. If people could say, I see this thing, and say the Prime Minister say the Ministry of National Security giving out tasers and pit bulls, I could go straight to the ministry's website to determine whether that's true or not. The second thing is the actual human resource itself. Are you all paying attention, updating it in real time? Are you monitoring what's out there? Are you verifying and then publishing notices? This is fake news. This is real news. You could go to this website to read more details on this program.
Bahamian loves salacious gossip about politicians, about people in politicals who are politically exposed. We have popular political assassins. We know what they do. They are on social media, and their job is to create mischief, to lie, to manipulate, to twist things. But the Bahamian people tend to listen to these people as it goes viral. How will that impact Bahamian politics this general election?
Well, like I said, this is it.
And why we listen to them?
Because who else talking? It's the first thing. Who else talking? Who else is disseminating information, right, about government activity? First off, the people them don't even want to talk about the programs that they offering. The stories in the paper come out the day after the event, right? They telling you about something happened versus giving you an opportunity to go and participate or see for yourself, right? And so that's created this problem that it's turned on them. Now, they are the primary targets and victims of this thing. I also want to make this note. I would be devastated to hear politicals, especially Mr. Fred Mitchell, suggesting that the Bahamian people are attacking politicians this election season. You have war rooms. You know what your war rooms do. You know what you endorse them to do. And you know what you are silent about, right? So don't blame us. If there are outliers, if there are people, ordinary citizens who are making stuff up, why don't you all empower the cyber crimes unit of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force with more resources, right? So that they can be a vital and integral part of this election season.
St. Anne's. You live in St. Anne's. Do you know who the F&M candidate is in St. Anne's?
Yeah.
I mean, who will be running, that is?
Yeah.
You know who's going to be running?
Yeah, I mean, I imagine the incumbent, Mr. White, will be running.
You should have a very imagination. But let's let's go there. The F&M has yet to list any of their candidates other than who you could suggest, the 7 or the 4 or 5 people who are sitting incumbents now. Is it important for them to list the candidates now, or they have time to wait?
I don't think they have time to wait.
So why are they tarrying? Why do you think they're tarrying and haven't given us 5, 10, 15 list of names?
Because I think that whoever is advising, guiding, or consulting with, right, has not been able to convince them, or they themselves are not, believing that the FNM cannot. First of all, the FNM can't beat the PLP with PLP culture. And this current political culture, the people tired of it. The people are tired of it, right? I think they should start early. They should do it differently, because I think the people are telling them, we tired of y'all doing the same thing, and then they're telling us you're going to get a different result.
You heard that St. Anne's boundary is going to be split?
I'm not that deep into politics.
No, I just made that up just now.
I was about to say.
The reason why I made that up is you already have an incumbent candidate, but imagine he's campaigning inside his area, only to find out weeks later, but you're inside that area, you're in Fox Hill now.
Yeah, that's the point I was making.
You campaign against the wrong people.
The FNM, this Pintard opposition, would be foolish to maintain, sustain, or continue with this old political culture, right? And I think the best way to go forward is to show the people that you're prepared to strike a new path by striking a new path. Don't tell me you're going to strike a new path as soon as you get to the House of Assembly.
There's rumors that says that a number of the senior FNMs, when I say senior, people who are incumbents now, will be jumping ship, and when I say jumping ship, changing constituencies. They will no longer be running on their current constituency. They're looking for other places to run.
You might as well not seek nomination.
You think it'll impact how people interpret that?
Yes, just don't seek nomination. If you don't think you're going to be successful in this seat, and don't seek nomination that can achieve the same success as you did, why we don't know what their name is yet. If they were that strong, we would know who they are. Yeah, I think the most important thing for these guys to realize is that whether the Bahamian people could articulate it or not, they're tired of the same old, same old.
Yeah. We're going to go now.
I noticed you didn't like my questions.
2 questions. No, I love your question. We're going to talk about it again. Last question, 30 seconds, because we're leaving now. What if political sponsors say they won't run? You comfortable with that?
I am 3 seconds from turning my life from Christ to crime, man. What?
We'll talk about that another time then. This has been
Producer, play the gospel music. I need your help.
This has been Guardian Radio A.M. with CA Newry. Thank you very much, Aaron Green.
Absolutely.
I think that's the future, though. Big political sponsors running. They have the money to sponsor the party. We'll talk about that in the future. Have a wonderful day.
You bring a whole new meaning to buying seats.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.